Hello, welcome to this beautiful Tuesday afternoon with Flyaway Geese. Today we're going to be talking about finding goose nest and egg addling. As you see, this goose is standing and grazing by itself. That's a sure sign that there's a nest somewhere. So when you're looking, these are some things you should look for. You should look for mulch or pine straw in areas under bushes or around buildings. You can also look on rooftops if you can't find them anywhere else, but generally you'll find them around water. We're going to take a look around and see if we can't find where this goose's mate is nesting. Sometimes it's more difficult to see than you might think, so you want to be sure that you look carefully. A goose will really hide itself when it's nesting. It'll lay flat on the nest to disguise itself so you won't see it. It won't make any noise and you won't know at times where it is. As we walk closer to the bank here along the water, you'll see this goose on the nest. We'll go back and get a dog and our egg addling kit and show you how to addle eggs. Look closely and you'll see this bird along the bank. Approach a nest unless you have an umbrella or a dog. It can be very dangerous to approach an aggressive goose. These guys really want to guard these nests. When you go to remove a goose off of a nest, you want to make sure that your dog is either fully trained or you use an umbrella. If you're using an umbrella, you can take it up to the nest and flap it at the goose like it's a bird. The bird will be intimidated by that and move off the nest. We've got a fully trained dog here, so we're going to use her to push this goose off the nest. You want to make sure that the dog doesn't disturb the nest in any way. So now that we have this bird off the nest, we're going to go back and get our egg addling kit and addle this nest and show you how to do that properly. So the first thing that you want to make sure of before you addle any eggs is that you have the proper permit. The website is listed below for that. The next thing that you want to make sure that you start with is a bucket of water. We're going to float the egg first and determine how far along in the maturation process this egg is. If the egg sinks to the bottom, that means that there's no air pocket in it. Therefore, all you have is egg white and yolk. Similar to what you would buy at the grocery store, this egg has not started to mature yet. The goose has just started to sit on it and it's just in the beginning stages. Once the egg has started to get the air pocket, you will see the egg start to float. One end or the other will lift to the top, and at the end, the egg will float all the way to the top. This egg is good to addle as it's sitting on the bottom. We're going to be sure that we dry this egg off really well before we do any addling because we want the oil to stick to it. You want to make sure that you have 100% corn oil, food grade oil, to addle eggs. We use a Ziploc bag and we want to make sure that we put on gloves because goose eggs can have all types of diseases attached to them such as E. coli, Giardia, or Coccidia. So we're going to put on gloves before managing the eggs. We want to use 100% food grade corn oil because what we do at that point is an egg is permeable and when you put the oil on it, it makes it impermeable so oxygen cannot go through the egg. We're going to dry this egg off really well. And then we're going to take a Ziploc bag and we're going to put the oil in the bag because that keeps things a lot cleaner. We've got a Sharpie here that we want to use to mark the eggs. We'll go ahead and mark them while they're dry and there's no oil on them. So we'll mark all 5 of these eggs in this goose nest so that we know if she lays any other eggs, we'll need to addle those as well. We're going to pour the oil into the Ziploc bag. And then we're going to take the egg and put it into the bag. We're going to roll it around really well inside the bag. I like to shake them first to assure that the egg yolk has been dislodged. It's just an extra precautionary measure. We're going to roll it around really well, make sure the entire egg is coated in oil. We're going to pull it out and then we're going to dry it off really well with our paper towel. This makes sure that the goose doesn't see anything odd with the egg. This is important because we're going to let her sit on this egg for an additional 2 weeks. We're going to put this egg back in the nest, and that's really all there is to egg addling. We're going to do this to the remaining 5 eggs, and that's all we have to do. So from Flyaway Geese, please addle your eggs, make sure you have a permit, and do things the proper way. Check with your state and local government on what's required in your state. Have a good afternoon.